Welcome back, my duelist friends. Casual Duelist. It's Wednesday, and I've actually got a deck, and it's my in-progress Master Duel deck. So it's actually the deck that I've been building sort of on the sly. You guys really watched me going hard for the Subterror cards. So obviously I wanted to showcase my Subterror deck. Now, before we get into... there it is. Before we get into my Subterror deck, I do want to mention that I was given a bit of a challenge lately. And I want to go pretty much full throttle on it. So before the end of this week or so, I'm going to start doing this in earnest. The challenge was that I should go back to Battle City with the Battle City box, as well as the rest of our GX, like regular battle box, and take these two and redo my deck lists, but not just in any format, but in the format of the 3x structure deck. Meaning, so like, okay, we get back to whatever it is, the Battle City. I want to say the Yugi deck had like the Phantom Beasts and stuff in it. I will have to only play with what was supposed to be the deck list for that. And again, having 3 copies. Essentially turning them both into almost more of like a draft or a board game situation rather than a fully customizable trading card game. So again, I'm kind of excited for that. Especially since we absolutely will have the brand new midterm box. I want to say that is October 7th, still slated for that. So I'm pretty confident that we can, pretty much run these all the way till then, which means I can get off of the video game for a little bit, guys, and just do that with you guys. So enough of that. Hopefully you guys are going to look forward to it. Let me get you guys into this Subterror deck. And it is a bit expensive as far as Master Duel is concerned. This is harder to put together. For right now, I just want to mention that the entire extra deck is junk. It is going to remain junk. What's going to happen, because if you guys look at towards the top, we are running 3 copies, Pot of Extravagance. The extra deck is meant to be thrown away. So again, if I decide to add like super polymerization down the road, I could do that, whatever. Would be fine. And then I'll just fill this with super poly targets. Right now, like the best card in here is probably going to be the Chimeritic Fortress Dragon. Just is what it is. And obviously you guys are seeing a 41 card deck. I left the terraforming I don't yet have there because I wanted to touch on that and explain that I would take out, in this instance, one of the infinite impermanents. But obviously, if I wanted to play this right now, like I'm going to do tomorrow, I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna ladder a little bit, and we'll get into ranked playing this minus the terraforming at that point. Again, can't wait to add the terraforming for real. So let's just start this off. It is a bunch of hand traps. Because again, it's Guru Control is like, I think, the standardized name for this build. So again, it revolves all around Subterror Guru and being able to control the opponent. So first and foremost, 3 copies of Effect Veiler. We do want to be able to stun our opponent's monster cards during their turn, stopping their effects. Also important, this one is not once per turn. Also important, it's an ultra rare. So to get these is already 90 of our ultra rare points, which is going to cost a bit. Next up would be the 3 copies Ash Blossom. Same thing. We can make this one a little bit differently. As you can see, I have 3, but I can dismantle 2. The reason for that is when you guys go to the shop, you guys should always be looking for the bundles. Bundles are things that you can buy once. You're guaranteed a very good ultra rare every time. But in addition, 10 booster packs, and instead of spending 1,000 gems, you're spending like 750. So you're actually getting 25% off plus a very specific good card. So I always stress to buy those. And I think we did the pack openings for that a while back. But Ash Blossom, again, stops interactions with the main deck, whether it's adding a card from the deck to hand, special summoning from the deck, or sending from deck to discard. So again, you get to stop these things. And again, once per turn, so you only get one shot at it. Subterra Fiendus, another amazing good card here. And again, this one stays more or less in-house. Fiendus, when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can, as a quick effect, send this from the hand or field to the graveyard. Target one Subterra monster that you do control. Negate activation, then change the targeted monster to face-down defense position. You can target one face-up monster you control, change it to face-down defense position, and if you do, special summon one Subterra from your hand or grave in face-up or face-down defense. Each of these two effects is a once per turn. Now, this means that for the cost of sending and being able to essentially Book of Moon one of my Subterras, Guru, I get to shut down any type of card activation. So again, it's going to be a normal one in this game. Fiendus actually super cheap in the real world right now. Most expensive card in his deck is in the real world would be the Umastrix, the Hidden City, the Hand Traps, and the Impermanences. Honestly. Moving on to the last one, and again, in the real world, I only play this one at 2. I am thinking about backing this off to 2. Again, this way I can keep my Impermanences and then run with my Terraforming later. So right now, this is at 3. I want to maximize it, but later, I might drop this one to 2. Also ultra rare, so again, like another 90. So it's 3 sets of 90. What is that? That's 270? Yeah, 270. That took way too long to do the math. I do apologize on that. The effect here, when a monster on the field activates its effect, or a spell trap that was already face up on the field activates its effect. Quick effect, send this from hand or field to grave, destroy card. Use this effect once per turn. Again, cards that need to remain on the field to resolve, they get hit harder. Monster effects, again, field spells, continuous anything. Major targets here. So again, I do like Fiendus, Ash, Blossom, and the Effect Veiler better. Ghost Ogre's still putting in work. Next up, let's talk about the Gurus. Again, 3 ultra rares. So now you're up to whatever, 360 points just on those. You can flip, add one Subterra card, so monster, spell, or trap, doesn't matter. Add that to your hand, except same name. You can target one other face-up monster card on the field. Change that and this both to face-down defense position. This becomes a quick effect if you control another Subterra. You can only use each effect once per turn. And what's great is, depending on how the turn progresses, if we do get the Umastrix real quick, you can leave the Umastrix face up, and Guru can actually target himself and the Umastrix, putting them both face down, or tagging himself and the opponent's monster, depending on what's a little more useful. Next up, I want to talk about the Archer. And this one's actually pretty cheap to make. Again, this is a normal or a common. At the start of the damage step, if this attacks an opponent's face-down defense monster, and you control another Subterra, you can shuffle that monster back into the opponent's deck. Additionally, if this is on the field, it's destroyed by battle or card effect, and sent to the graveyard, special summon one Subterra monster from your deck, either face-up or face-down defense position, your choice. And each effect is, again, once per turn. So, again, once we effectively turn it into a grind game, we can get another Guru if we needed to. Or this is another great way to develop the Umastrix, which we need to talk about. So, Umastrix, again, flip effect monster. You can, on the flip, target one monster the opponent controls, and then banish that monster. So again, a little bit of spot removal. You can only use this effect once per turn. When a face-up monster you control is flipped face down, If you control no face-up monsters at that time, you may special summon this from your hand in defense. This will be face-up. Once per turn, you can change this card to face-down defense. So again, it's very reminiscent of old school flip-flop and really does put in the work. You guys know Geki, you guys know Monster Reborn, another pair of very useful and very ultra rare cards. So again, I obtained these somehow because they won't let me dismantle them. So that is good and also bad. So I think I got these from the tutorials in solo actually. So go ahead, complete those, get some good cards. Terraforming, you guys know this one. This one's also an ultra rare. Just add your field spell from the deck to your hand. And again, in this deck, a single copy of Terraforming can generate an entire field. Let's go over the pot ofs. So the first one is the Duality. Excavate 3, add 1 to your hand, shuffle the rest back. You may only activate 1 copy per turn, and you cannot special summon the turn that you activate this spell. So generally, once we are, how do I want to say it? Once we are established, this becomes just a great utility. It helps us get into like the extra solemn strikes, the impermanence, the Geki, the Monster Reborn. It allows us to set up for other turns, as well as being able to add so many hand traps to the hand. An Extravagance, again, this has to be the first play that you make in the turn. At the start of your main phase, banish 3 or 6 random face-down cards from the extra deck, banishing them face down. Draw 1 card for every 3 cards banished, and for the remainder of this turn after this card resolves, you may not draw any cards by card effects. So again, if you do look through all of my stuff, everything except Extravagance says add to hand. So again, very important. Let's talk about the field spell, because the field spell was what I was getting the most psyched about while we were ripping open the packs. This thing's got like 4 effects, and I do apologize about the voice breaks. I'm trying to sip on some tea as I'm doing this, but it's just not helping right now. When this card is activated, you can add 1 Subterra monster card from your deck to your hand. So again, what we would do is like Terraforming for Hidden City, play Hidden City, grab Guru if we didn't already have him. Once per turn, you can change 1 face-down defense position Subterra you control to face-up attack or defense position. So then you manually flip him, even though you just set him. You go ahead and you grab your Fiendus, basically because Fiendus is now going to be a negate for you. If you've already got Fiendus, grab your Umastrix. Because again, what you'll be able to do is when you go to resolve the Fiendus effect, you will be putting the Guru face down, reloading it for another turn, but then you'll also get to summon your Umastrix as well through its own effect. So again, fantastic, just do it. Once per turn, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, change 1 face-down defense position Subterra you control to face-up, either attack or defense, and then negate the attack, and you may only activate 1 of these cards per turn. So again, you do the negate, your opponent goes, okay, cool, I'm gonna break the Guru even though you played the Umastrix. They go to attack, and then you could just flip the Guru and stop the attack. Then, during the end of the turn, since each of his effects were once per turn you already searched, during the end of that turn or whatever, Guru, because Umastrix exists, can book himself in the opponent's monster. Umastrix can dig down and flip down, and then flip back up for the spot remove. Then you can flip up your Guru again manually, or with the skill from the field spell, your choice. And then you can go ahead and grab into another good card, grab another Fiendus, whatever you want. We should get the opportunity to show this off tomorrow, so I'm not that worried. It's going to be good. My favorite battle trap is the final battle. And again, maximize this 3. Activate 1 of the following effects, and after that, set this card face down instead of sending it to the graveyard. So even if I'm playing against something like Grenmao Judahiza, with like Macrocosmos or Dimension Shifter, I don't have to worry about losing my trap. I get to just use it continuously. And this one comes with 4 effects. First 2 effects are change a set sub-terror to face-up position your choice, or 1 face-up sub-terror to face-down defense. Effect 3, the attack and defense of 1 sub-terror on the field become equal to the combined original stats till the end of the turn. And effect 4, this turn activated effects of sub-terror cards cannot be negated. So again, you could respond with the last one. If your opponent goes to Ash Blossom your Guru, whatever. And again, look at Guru. Add them together, that's 34. That's going to be 47. And that's a whopping 1,300. Don't worry about that one. This one will be okay at 3K. So again, Final Battle really does put in some work once you start dealing with combat. I think you guys all know how impermanence works by now. Target a face-up monster your opponent controls, negate effects until the end of the turn. And then if this was set before activation is on the field at resolution, stun all the spell traps into column. And if you control no cards, you can activate this from your hand. And again, I don't know how often you've seen it. You can start your turn by activating it like a spell when you go second. As long as it's, again, first move. So, pretty fantastic. Strike. Starting to use this again because it went ahead. Again, ultra rares. Same thing with the imperms. But the strike, when a monsters would be special summoned or an effect activated, pay 1,500, negate the summon or activation, destroying the card, or of course cards. And then the last but not least, there can be only one. Each player can only control one type of monster. Sorry, one monster of each type. If a player controls 2 or more of the same, they have to send cards to the graveyard until they control no more of than one. So again, if we look at the typings in our deck, we have 1 reptile, so that's good. Guru's our only dragon, so again, there's nothing that's going to play over him. Generally, we're not going to play Ash Blossom or Ghost Ogre to the field, so even though they're zombies, there's no overlap. Veiler's a spellcaster, no overlap. Fiendus we might play to the field, because again, the second effect does allow us to set her, which means we could block an attack with the Hidden City while resurrecting somebody, like the single Umastrix in a deck. So, okay, there's a spellcaster. I guess I was wrong. This is a psychic. For some reason, I thought it was a zombie. And then we have the fairy angel typing when it comes to the archer. So again, not a whole ton of overlap. Literally, Fiendus and Veiler. And again, guys, as far as the extra deck goes, just run whatever you think is clever. If you guys want to play like I do in the real world, add some super polys, add some super poly targets, play whatever's good for the current meta, and just have fun. But this is the deck list. Go ahead, snap a screenshot, pause the video, write it down, whatever you need, and then let's thank you guys. Thank you for showing up. Thanks for enjoying today's video. At least I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, consider, supporting the channel. What does that mean? Well, a like and a comment will actually get us seen by more people. So those are the easiest things to do. If you haven't already done it, you could subscribe. And then you could always just let your friends know about the channel. Spread the word. But even if you didn't do any of those, or maybe you've actually already done all of those, do me one favor. I want you guys to go out. I want you guys to try to have a great day. And hopefully, I'll get to see you guys again next time. I need to stop that. I keep pulling my earbud out, smacking my controller. You guys have a lovely day. I'm going to reorganize the entire play area here. This is getting to be too much. Have a good one, my friends. Later.